How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle. Today we're in a battle versus the Notorious H.I.M, the legend himself. That's correct. Go check out his channel if you haven't heard of him. He does Wi-Fi battle content as well. Really good quality stuff. Gotta love it. And link will be in the description down below. So looking at his team, he's got a pretty awesome rain team. We've got a Barraskewda. Archaludon is amazing. I really want to see that do something. Electivire is interesting with that new buff that he got in Supercell Slam. And then the Serperior, I'm guessing it'll be the Stellar Type Serperior, which mine isn't. Mine's actually a Fire Type one. So I'm looking at their team and I'm thinking, you know what? They lead off with a Pelipper. I lead off with Deoxys. We go for a knockoff. Try and knock off that Damp Rock straight away. That'll be nice. So let's go for that. And then other than that, I think Serperior could actually put in some decent work here. So I'm going to hopefully get a Serperior sweep here. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun, and Mr. H.I.M. They're going to lead off with Nigel the Pelipper as expected, as we lead off with the Deoxys. So Deoxys is actually OU at the moment, which is pretty interesting. Deoxys defense and Deoxys speed are. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff. It's really cool to see them. And to be honest with you, they're not even that good. I'm going to go for a knockoff right away, just to knock off this Pelipper's item. There we go. Get rid of that Damp Rock so that the next time they set up the rain, it won't be nearly as long. They go for a U-turn though, which is going to sting a little bit. But it's fine, as they probably go out into the Archaludon. They get a crit U-turn as well. Like, what is this all about? I'm going to expect the Donphan here, though, to go for a knockoff or Stealth Rocks. In comes Ferdilance, which is going to be the Serperior, which is an interesting one. So, are we going to see the Stellar Tera Type already? Or are we going to see something else? So, I want to go for a knockoff because we are specially defensive. I can definitely take a hit. But I feel like Teleport's a better option. I really feel like Teleport's a better option right now. So I'm going to go for that Teleport. They do go for a Substitute, which is unfortunate. But at the same time, it's not too bad. Because we do have Infiltrator on our Dragapult, which can then come in and go for a Draco Meteor. Because looking at their team, they have no resist to Dragon. Other than, you know, Tera Type. So we have got the Infiltrator, which bypasses Substitute. So I'm going to go for that. There we go, Dragapult comes in, and normally I would go for a Flamethrower in this instance, but the rain is up, so I'm going to drop a Draco on this thing's face. I don't think they're going to expect the Infiltrator here, and they're going to lose the Serperior prematurely, but it is what it is. So they do stay in. We go for a Draco Meteor, gets the KO on the Serperior, no problems whatsoever, thanks to that Infiltrator ability. Now, people normally run either Curse Body or Clear Body. Clear Body so you're not affected by Sticky Webs or lowering stat moves like Mystical Fire from Hatterene, etc. But I like to run Infiltrator because Substitutes are a pain. They go into Kingfish, which is going to be the Barraskewda, right? Barraskewda comes in. It's got that Swift Swim going on. They have probably got Crunch or Ice Fang. Don't want that to hurt us. So we're going to go into Skarmory. Skarmory is a good switch here. It can take any hit this Barraskewda wants to throw at it. Granted, they probably go for a Flip Turn and then straight into their Electivire or their Archaludon. Archaludon's probably the better option because Electric Shot's special attacking, but they do go for a Liquidation, which is good, which does over half to a physically defensive Skarmory. Are you kidding me right now? What is that all about? So Skarmory wasn't doing too much this game anyway. I'm going to go for that Stealth Rock just in case they do Flip Turn, but they don't. They obviously go for the KO on the Skarmory. Skarmory's fully physically defensive. Barraskewda, you're a monster. You're an absolute unit. Absolute unit. So we know they're Choice Banded. We know for a fact they're Choice Banded. So we have got a good opportunity here for our Serperior. We could go for a Leaf Storm here. I am going to go into Serperior. I'm going to go into Serperior and I'm going to expect them to switch out. So I'm going to go for a Substitute. I really feel like Substitute's the right play to go for here. Fingers crossed it is the right play. I don't think they're staying in Liquidation in front of a Serperior. So they do withdraw, which is great. We get a free Substitute. Even better than if they went for a Liquidation. They do go into Dumbo, the Donphan, who is going to have the Sturdy ability. We go for a Substitute. Obviously, that's going to be great. They now have to deal with our Substitute somehow. And they probably deal with it by going for the Ice Shard. So Ice Shard, if you didn't know, Ice Shard is basically a priority move, an Ice-type priority move, 40 base power that Donphan gets. It's a really random thing for Donphan to get, but I don't get it at all. We're going to go for a Leaf Storm anyway. So we go for a Leaf Storm. They don't actually go for the Ice Shard, which tells me they're probably going to go for a knockoff. Or an Ice Spinner if the Ice Spinner. They might have Ice Spinner instead, you know. You never know. But either way, Dumbo's going to enjoy the hit with a sturdy. We get the special attack boost thanks to Contrary. They go for a rapid spin, which I don't think is going to break our substitute. It's not going to break our substitute, unfortunately, for them. Which means we get another Leaf Storm off. Which means we get even higher special attack. Even higher special attack. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? No, I cannot. So we've got an option here. Does Donphan still outspeed us? That's the real question. I don't think it does. I think Serperior still outspeeds even after a rapid spin. As we go for a Leaf Storm now, and that's definitely going to take out the Donphan. So we've got a +4 special attack Serperior behind the substitutes. And we're not even your standard Stellar type set. I'm curious to see what their set was, though. I'm curious to see what their set was. Because knowing Notorious H.I.M is probably a more creative set than the standard. Because most of the sets that he runs are really cool and interesting sets. So Brooklyn's going to come in, which is probably the Archaludon, right? Yes, it is. Archaludon is in. Now, we can go straight for a Dragon Pulse. There's no real reason not to. This thing can't hit us behind the substitutes. They don't get any moves that can do that. I don't think they get Boom Burst or anything like that. They don't get any Sound Tame moves. So I'm going to go for that Dragon Pulse. I feel like that's going to do the trick. They do Terra, though. Oh, what are they expecting? What are they expecting? They're going to go ahead and Terra into a Steel type. So Steel is a good type. They're going to break our substitute, which is going to force us to Terastalize into a Fire type to take on this Archaludon. So let's see how this plays out. So we go for a Dragon Pulse. It's obviously going to not do too much damage, even at +4. But we still have the substitute intact, as they do get a stamina boost, but that's not really a big deal. They go for a Flash Cannon now, though. It is going to be boosted by Terra, and it's going to sting the substitute quite a bit, to the point where well, they lose it. So they probably expect us to be the Stellar Tera type on the Serperior, but we're not. We're actually Terra Fire, and that gives us a really good matchup against them. Now, I wish I would have predicted the Terra Steel and gone for the Terra Fire in the first place, because then we would have still had the substitute for that Barraskewda, but we don't. So unfortunately, as much as I would love to sit here... Are we worried about Flash Cannon? No, because either way, the Flash Cannon weakens us to the point where Barraskewda can take us out with Liquidation anyway. So we may as well Terastalize into a Fire type and go for a Terra Blast, just to take care of this Archaludon. I don't see any real reason not to. So there we go. We're going to Terastalize. Archaludon is going to go down to this attack, unfortunately for them. So they lose their Terra, but this does give them an opportunity to come in and bring in whatever they want. So they more than likely, if I had to guess, I'd say they bring in the Pelipper first, get the Rain up, and then they bring in the Barraskewda. But it might not go down that way. It might not go down that way. You know, you never know how these things are going to go down. So down goes Archaludon. Archaludon, however you pronounce it. I don't know how to pronounce it. Archaludon? Archaludon. I like Archaludon. Sounds a bit more intense, you know? Like Kaiju type thing. In comes Kingfish, which is going to be the Barraskewda. So they took the time picking the moves. So I think they were checking speed tiers. So I think they might be an Adamant Barraskewda. Based on that. So what I'm going to do here is I want to expect a flip turn. I want to go into Hitmontop. I want to go into Hitmontop, get that Intimidate off. I think that's what I want to do. So that is what I'm going to do. Exactly what I'm going to do. Bringing in the Hitmontop to get that Intimidate off on the Barraskewda is going to be really important. And then we can bring in something else afterwards. So get that Intimidate off. There we go. Dropping their attack. They go for a Liquidation. It's going to sting. Really going to sting. Just over half. Just over half. So they probably stay in and go for a Liquidation again. So I'm going to go for a Sucker Punch. There we go. Get some damage off on the Barraskewda. Damage is always nice. They go for a Liquidation. Take us out. Down goes the Hitmontop. So we have got a choice here. We got a big choice. Is it Feraligat's time to shine? I think it's Feraligat's time to shine. I really think it's Feraligat's time to shine. They've got 3 Pokemon left. Let's see if Feraligatr can do this. So what we're going to have to do is they probably go into Pelipper here, get the Rain up, and then they go back into Barraskewda. So I'm going to go for a Dragon Dance. I'm going to go for a Dragon Dance now because I know they're banded. They are definitely banded. So they withdraw the Kingfish. They are going to go into Pelipper, right? Probably. Nigel comes in. That was the Pelipper from earlier. So there we go. Pelipper's in. Gets the Rain up with that Drizzle ability of its. It's only going to be up for 5 turns because they lost their Damrock earlier in the game, if you remember. But we go for the Dragon Dance now. And now, all we've got to hope for is that they don't get a confusion with the Hurricane. Because we need 2 Dragon Dances. I don't think we need 2 Dragon Dances. I think we need 3. I think we need 3 for the Barraskewda. I really do. So what's going to do more? Liquidation or Ice Punch? I think Ice Punch. I think we don't... even at +2 speed, we do not outspeed the Barraskewda in the Rain. So our best bet is to have as much HP as possible to try and take a hit from the Barraskewda. So I'm going to go for another Ice Punch here, and it should KO. Ice Punch comes through. Down goes Pelipper. So Pelipper is down. They just bring the Barraskewda in right now. And they get the KO. But there is a chance because Feraligatr actually has a subpar physical defense. Now, it may not... it might not work out for us. This might not. In comes Kingfish. So what we might have to do here is we might have to switch out. Now, I'm thinking about what switching to. I kind of want to switch into Serperior and sack it off. Kind of want to do that. Just because it's Terrifier, it ain't doing nothing. It ain't doing nothing. We can sack it off. We can bring in the Deoxys defense, go for a recover just to stall out the rain. I think that's the best thing to do. And then Feraligatr can come in, KO it with a liquidation after living a liquidation because the rain's no longer up. And then we can just kind of go from there. That's what I'm kind of planning. So they go for a close combat, obviously expecting a switch of some kind. Serperior does live it, which is great because it means we've got another turn of rain burned away. So that's great. That's actually great. And you know what's great as well about the whole Feraligatr vs Pelipper thing? It took us 2 turns, so we're burning away rain turns, and that's important. So I'm going to go for Dragon Pulse now, just in case they don't stay in. They probably do. Now, I would have gone into the Dragon Pulse to be immune to the close combat, but there is, without doing damage calcs, there is always the chance they aren't actually banded, and they're like heavy-duty boots or something. So, because the rain does power up water-type moves, so it's hard to tell if they are actually choice banded. I think they are, but the rain is going to stop. If we assume they're locked into close combat right now, we go into Dragapult. I think that's the best thing to do. I think I could have switched in hard the Dragapult on the Serperior, like that's a Serperior alive, but it doesn't really matter. I don't think we need to do that. I think what I do now is I Shadow Ball because they have to go. They have to just let the Barraskewda go down, pretty much. So we go for a Shadow Ball. We do outspeed the Barraskewda because we are timid, not modest. Take out the Barraskewda. And they've got the Electivire left. Now, Electivire could pull this back because I'm pretty sure Electivire outspeeds Feraligatr for a start. And our Shadow Ball is not going to be enough to KO this thing. Now, they probably have Ice Punch. And they also might have Trailblaze, which we have to worry about. I think they get Trailblaze. Or do they get... I don't know if they get Trailblaze or not. I'm going to go for a Shadow Ball anyway, just to get as much damage as possible off of this Electivire. Electivire could still make a comeback depending on the set, though. Definitely could make a comeback. So we go for a Shadow Ball. Nearly takes them out, which is great. They go for an Ice Punch, which does, in fact, do over half to our Dragapult. Not quite enough to get the KO, though, as Dragapult is going to be able to go ahead and finish off this Electivire the next turn. So pretty cool seeing Electivire. It's just a shame we didn't get to see more of it, you know. I'm definitely going to use Electivire in the future, though. Electivire is such a cool Pokemon. So we go for a Shadow Ball, take out the Electivire, and that is going to be the game. So GG, Notorious H.I.M. Once again, go check out his channel. Really good quality stuff, really good videos. Everything about him is really good. So go check him out, all right? But anyway, here is the team. If you want to try it out, use the code at the top right corner of the screen. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, and all that wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.